Jason here. Today, I'd like to talk about the Stoic virtue of courage. In my opinion, this is one of the most important virtues out there. It is something that I see desperately lacking in the modern world. Seneca once said that even to live is an act of courage. And I think I cannot agree with that more. Life is fucking hard. It is hard to exist. Life is full of obstacles, challenges, fears, and pain. Now, in my opinion, we have two choices. We either accept the shit hand that life deals us sometimes, or we fight back. And that fight back is the courage. So please join me as we go for a journey on defining what it means to have courage in the modern world. Hey, confrontation of fear is a keystone to courage. It is a skill that you do and you get better at. It is not something that just comes easily, but life is not going to get easier. Your life is going to have still trauma on the horizon, still have hardships, still have heartbreak, still have health concerns. Life doesn't get easier the older we get. If anything, it gets harder. To cultivate the ability to confront fear, the sooner you do it, the better, but it's never too late to start. If you want to start a business, that's anxiety inducing. There's risk involved. If you want to start a family, anxiety inducing. You don't know what the fuck you're doing, and that's okay, because no one does. And that's the key thing to do about fear is anxiety. Hiding away from that, circumstances don't get better. I'll give an example. My boiler broke last week. Gone for 3 days. That first day, I procrastinated the hell out of that shower. I hoped that it would get better. I hoped that the boiler would work. It never worked. I was confronted with a choice. Do I just not shower? Or do I just get on with it and have this cold shower? I chose the cold shower. I went to work clean and refreshed. Next day, boiler wasn't working. There was delays getting the plumber out. What did I do? I had a shower. Day 3, wake up. I still don't have that water. It was going to get fixed later that day. I had that shower. I went to work clean. Now, if I never confronted fear at day 1, I wouldn't have showered for 3 consecutive days. I wouldn't have felt good. I'd probably feel depressed. I had to confront that obstacle head on. Now, these obstacles are everywhere in our life. It's a daily choice. And the more you confront it, the more you do difficult shit, the easier it is to do other difficult shit. Your dreams are not going to come easily. And I wish that wasn't the case. But your greatness, your ambitions, the life that you want to live is on the other side of everything that you fear. There's a statement that says, double down on your strengths. I disagree. Double down on your weakness. Whatever you're like, social was my weakness. I really struggled to just be human in that regard. I made that my main objective, and I just confronted it. And after years of practice, I can make small talk with anyone about anything. And that didn't come easily. That didn't come from shirking that responsibility. That came from just taking ownership of that and just going. So if there's something you want out of life and fear is in the way, you have to go through it. You have to confront that darkness. There's only one of you. Don't forget that. and everything you want is potentially on the other side of what you fear. Are you scared to fail? You're not going to get anything done. The only way to get better at things is to fail over and over and over. Do you want to find a partner, but you're scared to talk to the opposite sex? The only way to get better at that is to talk to the opposite sex, to fail over and over and over. See, confronting fear is confronting failure. It's to just go. That's courage. The next part of courage I'd like to talk about is mental resilience and its importance. Now, this is gonna probably my opinion on this is an unpopular opinion. So just try and finish this part to the end if it's setting you off. It's just my opinion on the matter. So your lack of mental resilience is half the reason you're depressed in life. The reason I say that is the lens you look at depression with. If you're sitting there and your life is fucked and your life is depressing, then you're probably depressed, right? So mental resilience is confronting that issue and reframing how you look at it. Viktor Frankl, a phenomenal author, went through World War II, lived in a concentration camp, just immense horror. And I'm going to touch on this guy at a later point. But one of the things he said is, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Challenged to change ourselves. We can't change the past, but we can change how we look at it. So for me personally, a lot of the trauma I went through, at the back of my mind, the language I had is, this is serving a purpose, that I have these chances to learn through this, to gain understanding that I can one day help someone else. I didn't see myself doing a YouTube channel back then. I didn't know even what that meant. It was just the language I gave my trauma. And in doing so, I let my past build me. I let it push me forward instead of drag me back. Resilience is a daily confrontation with who we are and our circumstances and our past. It's changing the language of our trauma. If bad things happen to you, that sucks. But you're not going to be able to change the past. It is what it is. And the painful reality is most people are dealing with their own shit. They can't magically give you a mental band-aid to make it all go away. That trauma is we all share that trauma. We're all going through our wars. Mental resilience is having that trauma and not letting it define us, is not letting us hold us back in life, is not keeping us down. It's all up there. It's a mind game. And the more you confront your challenges with a different type of mindset, the better you're going to be at handling the life ahead. This is the hardest daily practice, in my opinion, is building this. Like the sentiment is you have cold showers and that makes you stronger. That builds mental resilience. I think that's a part of it, but there's layers. It's the daily choices that you slowly bring yourself out of depression with a different mindset. It's reading books. It's listening to content like this. It's doing things like journaling, where you're able to reflect on the problems of your life and maybe get it out of you, but also tactfully plan how to move forward with that. There is no shortcut on this one. But the stronger you build your mind, the better you're going to be able to handle the future. David Goggins said this thing once, and I can't remember the exact quote, but he said, worse the effect, he doesn't run for the sake of running. He runs for the day his mom dies. Worse the effect. Now, I didn't really understand what that meant. I loved it. I didn't understand what it meant. And what he's saying there is he is the definition of mental resilience, by the way. If you get the chance, read his book, Can't Hurt Me. Phenomenal. It is just a constant story of resilience and how he built it from where he started to where he ended up. So what he's saying there is like he's strengthening his mind for the obstacles ahead. And we can't really shirk away from it. We can't just bury our head in escapism because life's going to keep getting harder. There is hardships on the horizon, but the sooner you start confronting that, the sooner you start building your mental resilience, the sooner you're able to start handling things better. Like it here. Yeah, you. She's 11 years old. I've mentioned this before. I know what that means. That's going to be a hard-ass chapter. She's my baby girl. I've had her since a puppy. She's my closest friend. But that's going to happen. Now, if I escape that reality and I hid away from that, it wouldn't make it easier later on. But if I can build the resilience to come to accept that, it will give me the strength at the time of day when it happens that I tried my best while she was here, and I did my best to give her a good life, and I confronted that fear. Instead of hiding my head in video games to not acknowledge that this was happening, instead I lean into it and I allow myself to get closer. I allow myself to be vulnerable. I allow myself to feel. And even though it's going to hurt more, I'm also building the resilience along the way by confronting that daily, by internally knowing that this is going to end one day. So mental resilience is built by doing things like taking care of a sick relative. That's confronting that darkness. It's not shirking away from it. It's not running away. It's not jumping ship to another country. You are riding that pain wave and you're doing your part. That's the importance of it. So to conclude, how I see mental resilience and the best way to build it is just do you. You do you. You just go on your journey, but don't shirk away from the challenge that life brings you. You got this one life. There's a reason you're here. You're meant to do something. You're not just meant to just hide away in the shadows. Build yourself up. Confront your fears. Build the resilience along the way. Build a life that isn't depressing. And go for that journey and have the courage to go on that journey and confront life. You got this. So that's my take on what it means to have courage in the modern world. I think it's incredibly important for combating against depression. I think it's a way to handle anxiety. It's a way to keep growing as a person. It is the keystone of self-improvement and development. It is a skill for life, and I don't think we can live a good life without having courage. And the more you do shit that scares you, the more capable you will be to display it. Doing the research necessary. I've been studying Stoicism for years, but for this video, I did a bunch of prep work. I hardcore for like a week and a half, was just consuming as much Stoic principles around courage as possible. And it caused a lot of self-reflection. It caused me to really look at what it means to have courage. And I don't want to be the kind of guy that's like saying words but not living by them principles. So I released that video, the combat PTSD one. That was fucking hard. That was hard to talk about. That was hard to put out to the world. That was an act of courage. That was extreme, but like we all are capable of that. Because that wasn't easy. That was fear-inducing. That was mentally taxing as I relived some of the experiences that I've not had to for quite a while. You are capable of this, and you're probably doing these things, but there's gonna be more that you can do. And I'm not saying beat yourself to death about having more courage, but maybe sitting back and looking at your big picture, getting out the notepad and pen, and maybe reflecting on things that you can have more courage over, responsibilities you are neglecting, opportunities that you are avoiding, because fear's in the way. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Jason from You Do You. If you found this rewarding in any way, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be taking us on a journey through 2 more Stoic virtues, and I'm just going to take courage on moving forward with this chapter. Have a wonderful day.